Okay.
Okay, so welcome to day 4 of the Clubhouse Moneymaker Challenge. So excited about tonight's topic. We're going to be talking about hosting a Clubhouse room. We were having some pre-conversation about this, and I'm excited to share with you what we're going to be going through today. For those who are watching live, I just in the chat, I put a link to the handout that I created. You go and click on that and download it or print it out, whatever you want to do. And then for those who are watching the replay, it'll be there somewhere. Like I'm still trying to figure out like where all this stuff is going because I'm having challenges with Facebook, by the way. We do not like each other right now. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the link somewhere and you'll be able to download it. Okay. So we'll just go from there. So the Clubhouse Moneymaker Challenge, hosting a room is part of this process. So I'm going to show it up on my screen here for anybody who's not able to print it out. But hosting a room is part of the process of Clubhouse, getting yourself in there, getting yourself known, getting yourself seen and heard, getting people to be interested in what your topic is, whatever it is you're talking about that day. And it's an important part, but it's not 100% necessary. So I don't want you to think like, oh, I have to host a room, so if you're unmuted, if you can mute yourself, that'd be awesome for right now. I don't want you to think like I have to host a room, but tonight we're going to be talking about hosting a room because the power of it. So Lisa, who's on the call tonight, she hosted a room today and you got to see the power of it. She had 77 people pop into her room. She had over 20 people hopped up onto her stage. Now, if she hadn't hosted that room, guess what? None of those people would have known what she was talking about. None of those people would have known about her. So some of the people already knew about her, but most of the people didn't. And then she was able to connect with people off of Clubhouse, which is the key, right? Get them off of Clubhouse into our Instagram, and then let's have a conversation with them there. And then let's get them somewhere. Let's get them to a call or downloading a free item or whatever it is that we have. We talked about that more yesterday in day 3. So go back to day 3 and go listen to that video. It's almost 3 hours long. Like we literally were on here for a long time. But you don't have to watch the whole thing. Just watch like the first 15 minutes. The last 2.5 hours is incredible. Don't get me wrong, but that's not where the training structure was. So anyway, what I love about Clubhouse is it's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and people are on there from all over the world. I remember when I first got on, I would hear people say, yeah, I've been up. Here it is like 5 a.m. and I've been on this room, for the last 14 hours. I'm like, oh my God, people are crazy doing that stuff, but there are people doing that. That's my point. It's not that people are crazy, but just that, they do that. People will do that. If they're really enthralled with the conversation, they will hang in. So it's really cool. We have this opportunity to do that. But now if you pre-schedule a room, you can it creates a link for that room. Just like if you create a Facebook post and you have a link, you can share that post with people. You can share the link to your room that you're hosting on your social media, in your email, in your text messages, whatever. You can share that anywhere you want. So if you want to take advantage of that and you have time that you want to share it out and do your marketing, you can do that. You don't have to though. You can just create a room like right this minute without pre-scheduling. So it's all the way, it's up to you. And I don't know how much in advance you can create one because I haven't looked into that, but I'm assuming you can do it. Actually, I know a person who has 3 rooms scheduled, 3 weeks in a row. So at least 3 weeks. I know that can happen. So it's cool because you can go ahead and get this stuff scheduled. What's the difference between pre-scheduling a room and not pre-scheduling a room? Well, really the main difference is that some people will actually look around to see what's going on in the future. And then they can, there's a bell, like we'll cover this a little more in a couple of days, but there's a bell they can click on that says, alert me when this room goes live. So they can scroll through to find out which events they want to attend, click the bell, and then Clubhouse will notify them when that room goes live. So there's one advantage there. But are a lot of people doing that? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. So the difference between scheduling ahead of time or just like going live, right? Like I could hop on there right now and just open a room right now without pre-scheduling it. So the difference there is that you can notify people ahead of time that you're going to go live. I've started seeing on Facebook a lot of people sharing, creating events on Facebook that are leading people to their Clubhouse room, or creating an image that says, I'm going to be on Facebook, I mean, on Clubhouse this day at this time, go check us out in this room or what have you. So there's a whole bunch of different ways to do that marketing aspect. Do you have to do it? No, you don't have to do anything. You just decide what's going to work for you. If it's going to cause you a lot of stress, I say don't do it. If it's going to cause you a lot of stress, don't do it. So when should you host your room? You'll see there's a hyperlink here. That hyperlink will take you to the room tracking document that I created. You won't be able to edit it, but you'll be able to look at it. So this room tracking document, I've been tracking Clubhouse, the numbers since April 15th. Why did I pick tax day? I don't know, but that's the day I started tracking them. And if you'll see this column E, average number of people per rooms for the day, these numbers, you'll see look at the drastic differences between like a Thursday and a Saturday. We got 66 on Thursday, 164 on a Saturday. So what I did is I went through and pretty much highlighted the days that have the most number of people in them on average. And then I kind of decide my rooms based on that. Like if nobody's showing up on a Friday, why should I show up on a Friday? Or if I say nobody, because people are showing up. There were allowed 11,000 people on average per hour in rooms that day. So this is just a kind of guide to help you to see what's going on as far as the tracking of the days of the week. And then also I put here, these are the most frequented times of day on that particular day. This is all Pacific time. And this will be helpful to maybe help you to decide to do a room or not to do a room. Like 134, that's a pretty good number of people. So I just bolded it. That's all I did. So follow that or not, it's up to you again. So when should you host your room? Just host your room. Just host it. Don't worry about when. Go ahead and do it. If people show up, awesome. You did a great job. If nobody shows up, maybe try it again that same day of the week and that same time. Nobody shows up again, just like say, I'm not doing that again. And then if you, sometimes it's not just the time of day, but it's the title of your room. We'll be talking about titles more, going through like each person's business, like what you're doing. And then we'll come up with some potential titles for rooms that day. And that'll be in a couple days, but just host those rooms, just host them. And don't worry if people don't show up. Like today's room, Lisa thought there were going to be 5 people, but she had 75. So how cool is that, right? That's what happened for her. But if she didn't show up, that wouldn't have happened. So just go ahead and start them. And then where do you host your rooms? You can host your room under a club. You can create your own club, which we'll be talking about in a few days here. You can create your own club. You can host them under somebody else's club, or you can just host them blank, like not under a club. But why would you want to host it in a club? One of the reasons is that the more members in that club and you host your room in that club, those members get notified that you're hosting a room. So they're getting some kind of notification that might make them pique their interest and say, oh, I think I'll go check out this room. So currently, as I'm doing this video today, right now, June 4th, 2021, the Women Action Takers Club has 1,200 members, which isn't a large club, but it's not a small club, right? There's some clubs that there's like one that has like 140,000 members, so it runs the gamut. Now, some of the larger clubs don't allow the members to host rooms under them. In the Women Action Takers, as of right now, I do allow members to host rooms under mine. So if you wanted to host it under the Women Action Takers Club, you can do that. But then also what you would want to do is if you are hosting your room under somebody else's club, what that means is that your room is open only to the members of that club, not to the public. Now, the host of the room, the owner, the creator of that club can open the room up to the public for you. But the only way they can do that is if they're on your stage and you make them a moderator, because they have to be a moderator in order to open your club up to the public. So if that's something you're interested in doing, then notify the club owner that you're going live and ask them to hop in and you'll make them a moderator and then they'll open up the room. Not every club owner is going to be able to do that for time wise, but a lot of them will. So it depends on the club that it is, what kind of relationship you have with them. So here's something I put here is that, let's see, open up the club. Oh, how do you find out who the creator of the club is? So like, let's say you see a club, there's one called Hey Girl, You Can. This is a great club for us women here to be in. They have something like 12 or 13,000 members currently. So it's Hey Girl, You Can. And the owner of that club, her name is Tara Garrity. Well, how you know who the owner is you would go into that club and then you would just scroll down a little ways. I have the instructions here. Scroll down just a little way. And whoever is the first person's name that is listed in that club is the one who created it. So then you can reach out to that person by clicking on their picture, go to their bio, go to their Instagram, send them a message, and create a conversation. So this is something I highly recommend doing. I actually have become friends with Tara Garrity, the founder of the Hey Girl You Can Club, because I reached out to her doing that exact thing. I just reached out and I said, hey, I love your club. I love what it's all about. I was in these certain rooms and I really, loved them. And can I host rooms under your club? And then we had a conversation. And then she said, yes, of course. And so it went into this whole conversation. The point was that I reached out to her. So doing that, and I put in here, because there was a question earlier that came up about, reaching out to people on Instagram. So whether it's a club owner or a room host or a moderator or somebody on the stage or somebody in the audience, these are all potential connections. If somebody is somebody you resonate with, you can reach out to them. It doesn't matter if they're on the stage or not. So you can just, like, for example, let's say you were reading somebody's bio and they were in the audience and they did not speak. And you're like, oh, I really like this about this person. Then you just send them a message on Instagram, say, hey, I saw you in the blank room. Don't say Clubhouse, because Instagram and Facebook are owned by Facebook and Facebook doesn't like Clubhouse. So what I do is instead is I say the title of the room. Hey, I saw you in this room and I really resonate with this, blank, with this about your bio. Then just relate something to you by saying maybe, oh, I see that, I'll just use a great weird example. I see that you have a Maltese. I have a Maltese too. I love my Maltese. Her name is Pup Pup. What's yours? What's the name of yours? Right. So we have a connection of something, which is our dogs. And then I give the name of mine and then I ask the name of theirs. So now I'm inviting them to participate in the conversation. So this is how I do my conversations on Messenger, any kind of messenger, is saying something about them, saying something small about me. I don't ever sell in the DM. I always get them off of there, by the way. So it says saying something about me that's personal, and then inviting them, like asking a question. And, I say 9 times out of 10, people do respond, especially if we touched something that is heartfelt to them. It doesn't matter who it is. I reached out to movie stars and they respond because I'm reaching out about something that is heartfelt to them. Okay, so that's where the bottom line is there. So then if you want to really connect with a creator of a room, because I have a club, then here's what I recommend doing is I put some notes I put some notes here. If you really want to connect with them, is you need to hop into their DM, but you also need to hop into their rooms. If you want to be part of whatever it is they're doing, hop into their rooms, raise your hand, get up on stage, provide value. And I say in here, value, 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 because it's really about that value that you provide. So I've had instances where I go into a room today and I hop on the stage, I say something. And then, then a week goes by or 2 weeks go by and I hop in, they're holding that room again. So I hop into that room again, or the same person is holding a room. I hop in, get on the stage, provide some value. Then the next time I hop into the room, get on the stage, raise my hand, get on the stage, and they make me a moderator. Doesn't happen every time, but if you're providing value without selling yourself all the time, especially because you have to think about it, that the value that I'm providing is for the audience. And if I get up on a stage and all I do is talk about myself and all I do is sell myself, that's not going to bode well with the other people on the stage. It's not going to bode well with the audience. It doesn't really work. It really works for us to connect and to provide value to people. So what I do is I hop into rooms to provide value. And then again, next thing you know, you're a moderator. So I have this one room that's going on for 2 days. It starts tonight at 8 p.m. Well, actually, it's already started 8 p.m. Eastern. And they invited me to come in and be one of the moderators. So, but they invited me because I go into their room. I always provide value. Okay, so it's always about that value. So I just talk about provide value, provide value, provide value. Okay, so the title of your room, like I mentioned, we're going to go into, is that spelled wrong? Is it gist or is it, it's gist. Okay. We're going to talk about titling your room again, in a couple days, but I would say option, that's not the right word. The object is to create a title that when people hop in, they say, the title attracted me, or the title is why I came in. I was looking through my room and I saw this room and I just had to get in here, right? So we want to make sure that whatever we titled it is something that is it's that scroll stopping. We want to get them into the room. If that title, like I said, if that title sucks and no one hops in, just end the room. You can end it right then. I say give it 10 minutes, give it at least 10 minutes. If nobody hops in after 10 minutes, end the room, create a different title, and open a new room. If you set aside for example, let's say you set aside 2 hours, you're like, I'm going to do this room for 2 hours. And but nobody hops in the first 10 minutes. You got an hour and 50 more minutes left to be able to play with this and to see what happens. Like, don't give up. Just don't give up. Okay. So just don't give up. Should you have moderators? Yes, definitely. If you like today, Lisa, she had 3 moderators. So she had her and 3 other people who are moderators in the room. This does a couple things. Based on the number of followers that the moderators have, people are pinged or people are getting notifications that this person is in that room. Or when they're scrolling through the hallway, they'll see that, oh, Linda's in that room. Like if my name is on the top of the list, when they see that, that hallway with the rooms, if my name is on the top of the list, that means I'm a moderator. So people who are following me or people who are interested in what I'm doing or what I'm sharing, then they're going to hop in that room because, oh, she's interested in this. I may be interested in it too. So there's so much like psychology that goes behind this. But then, so that's one thing that it does. Most of the time, and most of the people in the audience will follow the moderators. So if you are in a room and you're made a moderator, most of the people who are hopping in there will follow you, especially if you speak. If you don't speak, it's less likely, of course, but when you speak and you're a moderator, it's something about, again, it's psychological. It's a psychological thing that's happening here. And, but people will follow you. If by you having moderators, make sure this is only people that you already know and you like them and you trust them, because they can totally just shut down your room. They can kick you out of the room. I've heard of this. One of my friends, she owned the room. She owned the club. Then she started a room and then she made some people moderators. And next thing you know, she was kicked out of the club, out of the room. But not only that, when they kicked her out, they blocked her from the room. It was her own room, her own club. Somebody blocked her. So you got to make sure that whoever you give those rights to, that you trust them. And she has no idea who did it because there were 5 or 6 moderators. It could have been any of those people. So you got to really trust those people. Okay. When should you schedule your room? Okay. Oh, my husband's home early. Okay. Sorry. If you are in the document and you click on this link here, it's a calendly.com/Clubhouse Moneymaker. If you click on that link, I created a calendar where you can sign up to host your rooms in the Women Action Takers Club. So if you want to do that, you would just click on that link and it'll bring up this calendar here and go ahead and schedule your time slot. Now, I scheduled the time slots in 1 hour increments, but that doesn't mean you have to stick to 1 hour. And it doesn't mean that you have to go a full hour. So when you click on that date, it'll just show you, and you just pick whichever time slot you want. But what it'll do is it'll schedule your room for the hour here. This is just so I know, oh, people are in these rooms. I got to go in there, and I want to go in there, and I want to be able to support you guys, because in order for me to support you, I need to know when you're in there. Okay. So that's one thing that I want to get going. I created that link about 3 months ago and haven't done anything with it. So I'm excited to get that going. If you want to, this is what I recommend, is when you're hosting your room and it's under the Women Action Takers Club, is that you create me as a co-host for the room. So make me a co-host for the room. So that way it'll do a couple of things. First of all, it'll show me as a co-host in the room. And then anybody who's following me, again, the algorithms are checking for that stuff. So the algorithms will make different people, people who are following me, aware of the room that it's happening. And then also, I'll know that you're hosting the room, and then I'll reach out to you, or you can tell me if you want that room to be open or closed. Because if you want it to be open to the public, I can actually go in once you've created the room. I did this the other day, so I'm pretty sure it works all the time. But once you create the room, I can go into the schedule and I can open it up already to the public right then and there. So we can do that. And then the only thing I ask is this right here, is if you're hosting a room under the Women Action Takers, is that you every 30 minutes or every 15 minutes, however often you want, just say, because it'll be ladies in there, hopefully, but ladies, click the green Monopoly house next to the words Women Action Takers on the top of your screen and follow the club of our founder, Linda Sunshine West. Like, that's the only thing. The only stipulation I have is, if you're going to hold a room under there, let's grow the group, because the bigger we grow our Women Action Takers Club, the more people get notified when we're doing the rooms. Okay. And then there's something called a room reset. People do it all the time. A room reset is when like new people are coming into the room, and then you're going to make them aware of what's happening in the room. This is what's going on. This is the question people are answering. This is our topic, whatever, and then you can then inviting people to raise their hand to come to the stage. And this is what a lot of people do. Probably most people do. They do a room reset, but you don't have to do a room reset. I've been in rooms before where there was never a room reset, and you just kind of figured it out as they were going. And it doesn't matter. There are no rules for this. I know some people that do room resets, it seems like every 5 minutes, which is a little overboard, because I see that there are new people popping in, but if there comes to be a point where it's too much. But remember, it's not about, so I put this, let's jump out of this plane without a parachute. Would you do that if people said that? So don't do things just because other people are doing it. But if it's something that resonates with you, then go ahead and do it. Here's my last 2 quotes of the day, is that you are not a salesperson. You are a solution provider. So anytime you hop on a call to talk to somebody and to share with them what it is that you do and how you can solve their problem, remember, you're providing a solution for them. You're not selling to them. You're not selling them anything. You're not selling them you. You're selling a solution to their problem. And then make an offer every day. Whew, I made it through that. How did I do? I don't have any idea. I think it was about 15 minutes. So, okay. I'm really working on that 15-minute timeline.
That was good, Linda.
Was it? Okay. Now I can breathe again, Tandy. Okay, let's do this. Let's open the floor. Any questions that you have?
What's the purpose of resetting a room again?
Resetting the room is when you, let's say you were putting on a play, and for a play, people show up and they have like a playbill, right? It says, this is what's going to happen. These are the acts and all of this stuff. But for Clubhouse, we don't have that playbook for them to follow. They don't really know what's going on. So in Clubhouse, when you create a room, you have that title, whatever that title is what people see. So if the title isn't very descriptive and it's not obvious what's going on in the room, then people will do a room reset. And that the purpose of that is so that people who are down on the audience, so there's the stage, which is on top, and then the audience is down below. So those people who are in the audience, they get an opportunity to know what's going on. Do I have questions? Like if they're letting us ask, Are they letting us ask questions? Are they letting us speak? It's really just to let people know what's going on in the room. That was
I've been in rooms
long.
too that have gone on so long that the topics just changed.
Yeah.
So like they'll say, you know, oh, we're not even talking about that anymore. Right now we're talking about this. So that's kind of what a reset is. So they're just saying, okay, we're not talking about this. We're talking about this now.
Yeah. And I do a different form of reset where because I'm doing so we have the Women Action Takers networking event. It's every Saturday. So tomorrow at 1:15 p.m. Pacific time. If you go to the club, the Women Action Takers Club, you'll see that it's scheduled for tomorrow. You can ring the bell so that you get notified of that. But what I do in that is it's the same question every time because it's all about networking, right? So what I'll do is as I invite the next person to speak, I'll say, okay, Cecilia, it's your turn. So then I say, share with us who you are, what you're all about, who you serve, and how we can connect with you. So I do a mini room reset every single time because that way, as each person comes up, they know exactly what they're doing. And if they're in there long enough, they get to hear everybody else. Like I say the same thing over and over and over again. It's always the same thing. I might have a different question at the end, but it's pretty much the same thing. And I do that so that let's go do a room reset. I don't need to do that because every single person, I say what you're going to be answering, right? So an example, I was in a room before we got on here because I like to just go in rooms and hear what people are saying. And I was just sitting there in the audience and the woman asked the question of everybody, like the lady putting on the room. And then by the time it got to the fourth person, they're like, I don't really know what we're doing here. I don't understand. Like, what's the question? Is there a question? So people get really confused. And so the room reset is intended for several reasons. One, like me, I like people to know what's going on because I like to know what's going on, but also it keeps the room in check, so like Sally just mentioned, sometimes you'll be in a room where the topic is talking about dogs and next thing you know, they're talking about sharks. And you're like, I thought this was about dogs, so you just don't know what's going on if they don't do a room reset ever, Great question.
Okay, I got a question. My question is, on your calendar, if I schedule a room, is that Pacific time or will I see it under my time zone?
You'll see it under your time zone. Yeah.
Oh, good. Because I didn't want to bother with subtracting.
Oh, no. Yeah, that could be too confusing.
Okay. All right, good.
No,
so
it's GMT.
You're available, right?
So that calendar is like, I created that Gmail account just for this. So that calendar is a completely, there's nothing on that calendar at all right now. And there's nothing blocking any times because it's not based on my own personal calendar. So what'll happen is I'll know that room has been scheduled and then I'll be able to go in there. And like I said, I can open the room up for you if you want the room to be open.
Oh, okay.
As long as I'm awake.
So every second and fourth Saturday of the month for a while, I had a room open. And I got exhausted from it because, I would invite two other people who are health coaches to moderate with me, but I ended up being the one talking. And, being a teacher all day, 5 days a week, I just thought, I don't want to do this anymore. But I would like, Linda, your help. I would love to have you be a moderator. I need an expert. I've never had an expert moderator. And because I don't think I'm a good moderator yet, because I'm still learning. So then my room only lasted for 2 months. I only did it like 4 times. Mm-hmm. And then of course some of my friends went, well, why did you close the room? It's like, because I'm exhausted. I got tired of talking and then there was silence. And I'm not a person that just sits in silence, so then I feel like I got to talk. And so right. I found it exhausting.
Well, so it's important for you to think about like what was the exhausting part of it, right? And then to find people to fill that hole. So if you want to do rooms, doing one twice a month is not very often.
Right.
It's still often enough to make an impact in that, of course, but it's not very often enough because you got exhausted. So what was it that got you exhausted? It was that like I had to keep filling all the space, right? So what do you do then is you find people who are talkative, like Linda, like Sally, right? Like Tandi and Sarah. I mean, like you find people who like to talk and want to really be part of that. And so that and you just tell them, no dead space. And then they'll just, Lisa. Oh, Lisa, I didn't see you. So I didn't see you. Yeah, Lisa too. She likes to talk too. So here's what you can do is, anybody who's going to host a room, if you're looking for moderators or you want to find out if moderators can participate in a room with you, when you go create your Clubhouse room. Okay, let me log in there. But when you go create your Clubhouse room, you'll get the link. So when you get the link, you can, how did I do this before? Oh yeah, I'm on Safari here. When you get the link, you can post the link inside of the group and say, is anybody available to moderate this room with me?
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll do that because I know, yes, I have scheduled like just 2 days. One time, the very first time I did it 2 weeks in advance. And I thought, maybe that's too long. So then I started doing 2 days in advance, scheduling my room. But anyway, every time I did the room, I got more and more people in it. But anyway, but I ended up just getting tired of doing it. Like I said,
right. So that's why I'm saying is figure out what was it that you got tired of.
Yeah, I guess I got tired of leading it.
Right. So if that's the case, you find other leaders, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So what I want to show you is I'm going to click on the very top. There's a calendar. And I'm going to click where it says upcoming for you. I'm going to click that little drop down. And I'm going to click on my events because these are the events that I have scheduled where I'm either scheduled as a moderator. So like this one here, see, ring the alarm and wake up for success. That's not my room. That is this woman on the left. Her name is P. Angela, right? So I'm a scheduled moderator in her room, and same here. So I'm a scheduled moderator in people's rooms. So then what you can do is like, this is my room for tomorrow at 1:15 p.m. Pacific. I'm just going to click on it where the words are. And then this pops up and see where it says copy link.
Yep.
I copy that link to my clipboard. And then I'm just going to go over to Facebook.
Yeah.
And then I would go into our Clubhouse room and then put that link in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Like this.
I understand that part. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just say, I'm hosting this room, I'm hosting this room Saturday, at whatever time. Whatever. I can't type and talk at the same time. Yeah. But I'm hosting this room Saturday at 1:15 p.m. Pacific time. Always use the time zone because we're all over the world. Would you like to moderate with me? Or are you available to moderate? Are you interested? You just use some words, ask them, will you moderate with me? And then there you go.
Okay.
And if your thing is, again, there's no right or wrong. It's just figuring out what's right for you. Okay. So if you're like, you know what, I just don't like leading the room. Okay. Admit that to yourself first, and then find people who like leading the rooms and then do it. Yeah. Because if you want to provide the value, but you just don't want to lead the room, like realizing that is a big deal. That's great. I love leading the rooms.
Well, that's good to know.
There's lots of us. How many of you like to lead? Right, there you go. See, so we have
awesome. Right. I will be posting it then because I would like to open up a room again. I think I was just being burned out with teaching. Working with kids all day is just exhausting.
Yeah.
And so, but anyway, then trying to get clients for my health coaching. So doing 2 jobs is kind of exhausting.
Yeah. So we'll use this, right? We use this platform as a way to speed that up, like speed up the health coaching thing. But then also, again, like I said, when we know what our and they're not always weaknesses, but when we know what we don't like doing, when we're doing what we don't like doing, it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
When we know what we don't like doing and we bring other people in to support us in that area, we're no longer exhausted because we're doing the things we love. So I could do what I love all day long. There's certain topics I can talk about ad nauseum, and hopefully it's always valuable, but that I could talk about them forever because it just really lifts me. So those are the parts that you want to do. And then you find the supporting people that will support you on the other aspects of it. Right. So like, let's say Sally's hosting a room and she's like, hey, I'm hosting my rockstar room, my self-care rockstar room. Would anybody like to be a moderator? You can still raise your hand, Cecilia, because that doesn't mean you're going to be running the room. It just means you'll hop in there as a moderator and be able to provide value where you can. But it's also a form of support, right? So what we do is like by having other people be moderators with us, we can have up to 10 people that we schedule ahead of time as a moderator. That's all as of right now, that's all it will allow is 10 people. But by doing that, now we're tapping into their audience as well.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And lastly, what I'll say is, this is my belief, is like, I never give to get, I always give to give. So I give because I want to give. So like say, for example, I posted out there and I said, hey, I'm looking for moderators for this room. And then, you all said, I'm in. I would never expect you to reciprocate. Like, don't ever feel like, oh, I made her a moderator. So she made me a moderator. So I need, don't let yourself get, what do they call it? Banking up, dues and stuff like that. So Sally, oh, wait, were you gonna say something, Sally?
Nope.
No? Okay. Okay, Sarah.
Yes. So my question is, I know that I get notifications where people will ping me into a room. And so I know that's just saying, people that I made that little bell and said I want to follow them. If let's say that I've created a room and I don't have this association with you, but I see you out there and I'm like, oh, I'm going to invite Linda in. Can I invite her automatically to be a moderator, or do I get to choose, ping her in the room as a moderator, or ping her in the room just because I think she would enjoy it?
Great question. So how that works is when you ping somebody into a room, you're hitting the plus sign at the bottom. You're in a room and you're hitting the plus sign at the bottom and you're saying, basically you click on people's faces to invite them into the room. When they come into the room, they automatically go down on the bottom. Nobody, even me as like the club owner, if you pinged me into, you create the room under the Women Action Takers Club. Mm-hmm. And then you're in there, you're like, oh, I want to invite Linda. So you ping me by clicking that plus sign at the bottom and invite me in. Even though I'm the club owner, I'm still going to go into the audience on the bottom. Nobody comes automatically onto the top except those that you pre-schedule as a guest or a co-host. So when you go to create your room, am I still in there? Did I already? Oh, I'm still in there. Okay. I have the hardest time with iPhone. I got to tell you. I don't understand
because you don't know it.
Yeah, it's like, where the heck am I? Okay. Okay, so when I'm getting to know it. Okay, so in this room right here, this is tomorrow's 1:15, right? Mm-hmm. So I have, some people already set up as moderators. I'm going to edit that. So I'm just going to click on edit. And then see here where it says with, Elizabeth, Monica, Tracy, like it has these names listed.
Right.
Those are people that I've invited to be co-host or a guest, I guess it's whatever name you want to call it, into tomorrow's room. So I'm going to click on where it says add co-host or guest. Mm-hmm. And then I'm going to add your name.
Okay.
And so now you're a guest or a co-host for tomorrow's. So now go ahead.
I'm sorry. So if I went into my events now, that little calendar at the top of my thing, would I be able to see that? Because now you've invited me, so I'd see it?
Yes. Yep. So under your My Events, you'll click on that and that event will show up for tomorrow. But now here's what's cool is these people who are listed here as co-hosts, when they hop into the room,
Mhm.
whether I ping them into the room or not, I don't see your name, Sarah. Where'd it go? It must not have saved it. That was weird. When they hop into the room, whether I ping them into the room or not, they're automatically
Uh-huh.
going to come onto the stage.
Okay.
But those are the only people who will automatically go onto the stage.
And can you one more time show us how to access the calendar? Because I'm not seeing that. Like,
Okay, so let me go back to, so this is the hallway.
Yep.
On the top middle, see this, do you see the calendar up there
Yep.
by the bell?
Oh, yeah. So it says upcoming for you.
Or are you looking at your own?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. I was like, I don't see it. Yeah. So click the down arrow where it says upcoming for you,
Mhm.
and you'll see my events down there. Do you see that?
Yep.
And then do you see tomorrow's
Yep.
event?
Yep.
Perfect. Now, if you want to schedule your own room when you're in I'm going to click on the calendar. On the top right-hand side, it has a calendar with a plus sign.
Mhm.
That's how you schedule your own room. And then you name it, add guests, or if you want to or not. I would highly recommend reaching out to people first before you make them a guest or co-host. And then you have date and time, host club. So when I click on host club, these are all the clubs that I belong to. I'm going to have to leave some. That's like too many. So then you would just find women action takers and you would connect, click on that and then just click back. And so now Women Action Takers is the host club. And for you, you will only have an option. It'll be like this, open to members only. So it'll be green there.
But then we could ask you if we want to make it public.
Yeah. So now if you made me a co-host right here,
Mhm.
and then you let me know, hey, I just scheduled this room. Can you go make it public? I can go in and edit the room and I'll show an example. So let me go back to my events because Elizabeth scheduled this one. So Elizabeth scheduled, do you have a picky eater with Asperger's or HFA? Let's talk, right? So I'm going to, because I'm the owner of that club, I can click on edit and I can go in here. Like it was like this. It said open to members only, but I went into and I edited it and made it open to all people.
Mhm.
So I can do that after you schedule it.
And so because you're the owner of the club, your name was first, but then we could assume that the next person's name is whoever is whichever one of us was creating it.
No, actually see her. If you look at the one with the picky eaters, it has Elizabeth's picture first.
Oh, okay. Well, when you clicked in it to edit,
Oh.
that's when the picture showed up first.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. And that's
that
not
makes
what other people will see though.
Yeah.
Get out of there. Yeah. So other people will see this with Elizabeth's name first. That was kind of interesting. I didn't even notice that. Let's see if it does it on this one. Yeah. I don't know. That's weird.
Can I just say one more thing?
Of course.
Linda, I have only known you a little bit, but I just really have to say that you have stood out to me as a person who just so generously shares things. And when I first saw that you were doing this club, I wasn't sure if it costs money or not. And I have this theory that when you have money, you can make money. And when you don't, it takes a lot longer. And I'm in the lot longer because I just, don't have a lot of money to spend. And I looked at the price and I said, $49, that's less than $2 a day for 30 days. And look how much you already know. And you have to invest in yourself. And I feel like even if I had to stop tomorrow, I've learned so much in these days that is, like I want to also say to Cecilia, like I totally get the overwhelm and the exhaustion because each of these technology things is its own Chinese language. And I say Chinese only because I don't know Chinese. And so for me to learn Chinese would be really hard. And so I just feel like each one is its own language and then you learn it and then they change it. And so I just am finding tremendous value here. And it's just really, I wanted to just say that.
Well,
So
thank you. And mention this is day 4.
I love you, Linda. You're
Right.
awesome.
Well, I think I'm going to use these as testimonials. I love it.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. I better get these testimonials before we get to day 30. And you're like, oh my God, that was awful. That's
Right. Can I make one other suggestion though?
Of course, please.
One of the days, it might be fun for each of us to practice during our Zoom call to actually go in and create a room that's just open to us, for us to like take it off the Zoom and just talk for a few minutes, just to, you know, like, because you see it but it's different when you're responsible for it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's also slated to do that. Also
Oh,
slated
no.
for us to go and everybody host. You know, I got you covered on
I'm way ahead of you. Sorry.
No, that's good. That's good because it lets me know that I'm on track.
No, you're definitely on track.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job.
Because we'll go in where we create a room and it's just us, and you know everybody will have opportunity to do a room refresh. You know, because getting comfortable with these things, like because I can say room refresh all the day, and then you're like, you know, deer in the headlight. You know, suddenly. I remember there was one that I did. Sally and Kathy, who's not here tonight. Sally and Kathy, like, we created a back channel, which we'll talk about that as well. But you create like on like a Facebook Messenger or a WhatsApp or a Slack or like all these different places, right? Instagram, like you're talking about all the different languages, but you create a place where the people that are moderating that particular room communicate with each other. So that way you don't have to send messages to everybody back and forth. It's just everybody communicates in the same place. And I don't remember where I was going with that. So I guess it's not important.
It was practicing so that we would know how to do stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. I put the room refresh. I put it in that back channel because at that time I was brand new and not really knowing, you know, how to run a club or a room really. And so I said, oh, I have to have I got all stressed out. I have to have all these scripts and I got to make sure they know what to say. And, you know, I was so stressed out about it because I didn't, like, not even thinking that I don't have to do anything. You know, it's your room. You decide what it's going to look like. And then people will decide if that resonates with them or not. You know, like if you're Tanya's like, you know what, every half hour, we're going to do a breathing thing. We're going to do this breathing thing for a minute, you know, do that. If that's something you do on the regular, do that. Because like Sarah was like, that was really good. You know, after you did that, right? So there are people that are going to resonate with that and they're going to be grateful that you gave them that moment of space. Now, I'm not the type of person who gives people a moment of space. I just keep going, right? So for Tandi to say that, I was like, yeah, you go, girl. Right? So it gives her opportunity to do, you know, share something with us that she does. That is awesome. And gave me an opportunity to step back and say, it's time for me to slow down for a little bit. And then I'm going to speak back.
No, you're keeping us on our toes. That's good.
That's for sure. Okay. Any other questions? Sally, you want to give your experience of running rooms because you've run several rooms now. So you want to give your experience of that, what it's been like, and what did I miss anything that maybe could be a takeaway for them to pick up on?
The only other thing is if you're in a room and you're brought up on stage, and then you leave the room, and let's say you go and you go to the bathroom or you get off, and then if the room is still going on like 2 hours later and you go in there, you're back up on stage. So you got to remember that to make sure you turn your microphone off.
Oh, and how it actually works, because there's two ways to leave a room. Okay, so one, and thanks for bringing that up because that's so good. I discovered this one day. I was like, I'm gonna take advantage of this. So whether you're a moderator or not, you know, when you're on the stage, I'm going to go into a room right now. So, this is the room I'm supposed to be in. So they might make me a moderator. I'm not going to go in that one yet. Okay. So I'll go in this one here, and I'm just going to go in this room and I'll turn my volume down. And if I were to raise my hand and go up on stage, okay, they invited me. Hold on a second.
You can't do it while you're with us.
No, I'm up there. They
Okay.
put me up there. It just said I'm on a call. Okay, so now watch this. I'm going to now. Oh, get out of there, everybody. Paige jumped in there. Paige, you're supposed to be on the call with us. Okay, so so what I did is I clicked, this room is still open. Okay, I just clicked on the down arrow by hallway. Wait, hold on. Click that. I'm going to go to another room. Tell me about your business. Okay, what room am I in right now? Global Networking Explorer. Okay. Now I'm going to go into this one. Oh, trials and triumphs. Okay. I go into that room and I'm like, oh, darn it. I didn't mean to go out of that other room. So I'm going to go back to my hallway. And I'll explain this in just a minute, like what I'm doing here. I'm going to scroll back to the top. Oh, what room was I in? This one. Now watch, I'm going to go back in global networking. And I'm still on stage. If I leave quietly, see, Paige is in that room. She's supposed to be on this call. You've been called out, Paige. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so now I'm going to leave quietly. So leave quietly. Now I'm going to go find that room again. Hopefully it's still available. It might not be available to me anymore. Oh, there it is. Now watch when I go back in there. Oh, it didn't do that before. Okay, so the algorithms are changing because it used to put me back into the audience when I left quietly. So, okay. So yeah, when you leave a room, you go back in to where you were. So what's cool about that is if you're a moderator in a room and you leave to go out, and like some of the rooms will run for hours, some will run for days. But if you leave and you go back into that room, you pop back in as a moderator. You don't have to wait in line anymore. You pop back in as a moderator. So I've had done that a few times. A lot of times I'm just doing things just to test it out and see what it's all about. But that's interesting because before when I would leave quietly, it wouldn't bring me back in. It would take me back into the audience. So they made a change. They're always going to be making changes. So.
And so you're either a moderator or on the stage or the audience, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's this one lady. I love the way she explained it. It's like an orchestra or a symphony. You have the musicians are on the stage, and then you have the whatever the front part is, like the people that are down below here, they're in the audience, and then you have the people in the rafters. Because there's two different levels. Like on the stage, there's two different levels. I'm sorry, in the audience, there's two different levels. One level is these people know the speakers, or some of the speakers are following them, and then the other is the ones that nobody's following them on the speaker stage. So it's kind of a weird hierarchy. At least
I kind of always thought about it as being like on the radio, like being like either listening to the radio show, and then being on the radio show and being able to talk with whoever who was talking, like on a talk show. So that's kind of, it reminded me when I first got on of being on radio.
Me too. Yeah. Cecilia?
Yeah, so I got a question. You say you shouldn't really pitch or sell yourself, but when you're in a room where they say, oh, you have 30 seconds to talk about yourself, shouldn't you try to sell yourself then when you have 30 seconds? And it's in one of those silent rooms where you're trying to network with people, and then they give you 30 seconds to do a sales pitch. So that's when you can do a sales pitch, right?
Yeah. When they're saying, it's time to hop in and do a sales pitch, definitely. That's when you want to make sure you do, because they're giving you that opportunity. But there are some of those silent rooms where they say you got 30 seconds, to connect with us or whatever. So that what I do in those kinds of rooms, again, I have several different free things, right? A free download, or like an opportunity to be interviewed on my podcast. People jump at that. So if you have something that is a thing that people would jump at, always make sure you offer that, because that way you can get them into your DMs. Again, what's our goal? To get them off of Clubhouse into our DM, into a conversation, and then inviting them to whatever it is that we have to offer. Yeah. So what was that website, Sally? PLR.me.
Yes. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, what do they provide? Because I haven't really checked it out too much.
Well, they will give you like checklists, articles. Like they'll have an article, 7 self-care secrets. And it'll be an article that, for like a magazine, but you can take each one of those maybe and make a blog post out of it. If, for 7 days. They have things for coaches, things for weight loss, things for virtual assistants. There was things, things for busy moms, things for all different things. So you just go into the bar up on top, type in what you're looking for, and it'll all, they have ebooks that you can download, and everything is, you put your own stuff on it and
So
make
it's all editable, right?
right. It's all, they, when they send it to you, it's in Word and in a text file. And then some of, you know, so then you can take it into Canva and you can add your logo, add your, all your stuff. You can change the name of the title of the article. You can change the title of your book and change the colors.
Does
And
it
then,
cost money to do that? Do you have to have a paid account, or is it
yeah,
just?
but it's not too bad. I mean, it's credit. You buy credits. You get 2 credits every month when you sign up, when you log in. Like the little things like like a 1-page article is like one credit. You can buy 10 credits, I think, for $22 or something like that. An ebook is like 5 or 10 credits. I mean, and then they have like bundles that are like 60 credits. If you're a coach and you want all the stuff, they'll give you like 3 ebooks and, you know, all these articles and all these checklists. But there's things that you can use as lead magnets to give away, or you know, it's all it's all, you know, the rights are given up, so it's all stuff that you can use.
Yeah, so that's a great way to, if you don't have something, a freebie, a free gift for people, that's a great way to get one. And if you don't want to, do they charge you monthly no matter what? Like, are you put on a membership thing? No.
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Okay, cool.
And I was going to say, I didn't expect it to be as so many articles and everything to choose from. So I couldn't really get anything off of it because I didn't have enough time to really, it's so much on there. So whatever your expertise is, it's an article or something on there for you that you can use. So it was I'm glad.
They give me two every, or 1 or 2 credits every month. So I'm always going in with my free credits. And then I purchased, I don't know, I think I spent $22 and purchased 10. So I was just going in there and, oh, this looks good, and buying. And some of it I used, some of it I used in my my group as just information that I was giving out there. Other stuff, you know, I bought it and looked at it and said, you know, this isn't that great, but I didn't pay for it anyway. So it was just with the free credit. So I mean, it's fun to just look and see what it is. I mean, if you guys see something that you like, message me. I may already have it.
Cecilia, you had a question?
Yeah. Okay. So when you tell people to DM you, they're going into Instagram, right? That's where they're okay. So like on my bio, I do say I have a free download for people, and I give them my I give them my number to text me, and I give them my website, my Gmail and my business website for them to go into. Is there a way? Does Clubhouse offer yet where if they go into your profile, they can just tap on an icon and it just boom appear your business website, or the freebie will just show up? They haven't implemented that, right? Okay.
No, as of right now, it's connected to your Instagram, right? So you do have, I looked at yours, you do have your Instagram connected from your Clubhouse. So then when I click on your Instagram, I go to your bio and you have a link, healthcoachingforever.com. And when I click on that, for some reason, it's not pulling up on mine. Can somebody else go into Cecilia's bio, click on her Instagram and see if the link is working for you? Because it's not working for me.
Oh, that's good to know, because I don't know if it's working for people or not.
Yeah, because if it's not working, then, you know, your people aren't going to be reaching out to you because, oh, there, it finally came up.
Did it?
Yeah, let's see if it's coming up for you guys.
Because it always comes up for me. So,
Right, because you got the cookies in there and everything.
right.
But okay, so you do have your free download. So that is one. When they enter their name and email address in your free download, do you capture their email addresses somewhere?
Yeah, I have to go into my business website to see that email. I don't get notification.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is a downside. I wish I could get notification that someone has downloaded my guide. And so, but anyway,
Okay, so that's yeah. So what are you using for your website?
it's called Coach Lead or Lead Coach. And it's like really cheap. It's only $35 a month. But I'm wondering, is there a better website to use?
Well, and that
35 a month,
that's yeah,
a lot.
that's a lot for yeah, if you're not happy with the result, like you're not getting
But
that.
ClickFunnels is $97 a month.
Yes, I use what's called Now Site, and I can build unlimited websites, landing pages, unlimited email addresses that I can capture and send drip campaigns to people and all that stuff. If you're
You can
interested
send
in
it-
learning about that, I'll
Yeah,
share that with you.
because I am like, I got so frustrated with technology. I just like gave up.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
you.
I got other stuff to do.
I know. I know. So yeah, I'll share that with you. They do have an affiliate program. So if people sign up for me underneath me, then I get money. But then if people sign up from underneath you, you get money too. So they
Oh,
do have,
I'll sign up under you then.
yeah. So it's only 47 a month, but I do get emails instantly when somebody clicks on my links. I can see, the people, whoever's clicked on it, because I have them enter their name and email address and phone number now because I'm able to do texting as well. Except today something was going on. I'm not sure what went on. But anyway, it works most of the time. And being able to be notified when people are doing it is kind of important, I'd say.
Yeah, it is important. That's why I was bummed because I emailed the company say, well, how come I'm not getting notified when somebody's downloading
Mm,
ebook? And they say, oh, we don't have that. You have to go in your website and so it's like, oh great, I have to always go in and check to
yeah.
see. So that's extra time right there. But anyway, also with that website that you use, I would like an automatic thank you when somebody downloads my guide. Does
Yep.
that? Oh, thank goodness. Okay.
Of course,
Yeah.
you have to create the email, but once you've
Well,
created it,
that's fine.
yeah.
I can easily create a
And then
thank
you can create what's called a drip campaign. So you can say like every 2 days, they get an email automatically. So I have a very loose drip campaign, but because like the writing the emails is not my favorite thing to do. So it's like the last thing on my list. But anyway, I do have a sort of drip campaign myself, but and also it's cool is they have a whole bunch of templates. So if you somebody has a drip campaign that you like, you can actually download it and just modify it to fit you. So they have a lot of templates as well. But anyway, yeah, we'll talk about that later then. I'll send you the link to that. And if anybody else is interested, let me know. And if I get enough people, I'll do trainings on it.
Oh, sweet.
I'll do free trainings. Like I'll sit here and do office hours, right? Where I say, okay, from the hours of this to that, I'm available for you.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so did you put in chat the name of that so I can start looking
Oh yeah.
for that? That'd be great. Because I'm one of these gung ho people. I just like to.
You're a woman action taker.
I am. I really am. Well, I wrote that story in one day.
I know. Your story for the chapter. What were you gonna say, Sally?
You might want to look at the link that you have posted in your Instagram to your website, because it looks like you have it as like an Instagram, like a search or something, because it's going through a lot of things. So
Interesting.
yeah, I mean, just make it HTTP / and then your thing. I think there's something at the beginning there that's Instagram put there or something.
Yeah.
That it's a hard time connecting and getting to your website.
Maybe I guess I'm not understanding.
Go into your website and just type the address in, copy that address and paste it into your back into your Instagram. Edit your profile
Okay, I'll try doing that. All right.
that website, because that there's something in the, I don't know if like if you had, it looks like you would maybe searched it and took the search information, or Instagram added stuff at the beginning for some reason.
Okay. So you mean, so I have to go into my website.
Now go
Okay.
into Instagram.
I just shared the link in the chat. So all you
Okay.
need to do is copy that. That's the hyperlink. So the
Oh.
www dot, it doesn't create a hyperlink in some social media. You have to have that HTTPS:// So copy that exact link and put that into your Instagram.
I'll do that right now while you ladies are talking.
Yeah. And then go to Linda, after that, go to lindaleads.com, and that's how you can sign up for Now Site. I just put that in the chat there. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Sally. So I was wondering if it was just mine or if it was anybody else's too.
Yeah, when you click on it, it looks like it says something like Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
It like added something to it.
Okay, so I'm in my Instagram. Do I just tap on my picture, right?
Go to edit profile at the bottom.
Edit. Okay, so edit profile. I see the word. Okay, so I click on that.
And then hit website.
Yeah, well, it does have HTTP.
And then what?
/healthcoachingforever.com/. Well, I'll redo it.
Yeah,
all right. So all right. Yeah, that's what I had in there. But okay, hopefully, I don't know why it didn't work. Do I have to hit the return button or something?
Or where are you, on Instagram or what?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I'm in the website box.
It looks like it's working now.
Is it working?
It looks like it. When I click on it, it goes straight to healthcoachingforever.com.
So you changed it.
Okay, so now I hope I have to hit submit, right, for it to change.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Well, that's what I was about to say, because it pulled up for me as well.
Okay, so, oh boy. All right, good. Thank you for checking that out for me, because it's like I don't know what goes on the other end.
Yeah, exactly. You can't see what we're seeing. My poor husband, I use his phone for things like that. He's like, why am I getting all these text messages? Like, oops, I was testing using your phone number. He's like, okay, whatever. Okay, awesome. Any other questions? Or comments? Condi?
Yeah, I'm just struggling and feeling very discouraged, just because I feel like every time I embark on like an ambitious journey, then my life kind of starts to blow up and I get distracted and then everything goes to pot. So like when I decided I was gonna write a book, then I found out my husband's having an affair, right? And then I got all thrown off kilter. And so one of my challenges is staying consistent, even in the face of heartbreak or disappointment. And I'm just feeling very, I don't know, with the discouraged, sad, frustrated, because the last 2 days I haven't even really been on Clubhouse. And yesterday I found out that my dad, who's already sick, is back in the hospital, and he's in South Africa, and I never get all the information that I would like to have in order to make sense. And it's just really hard not knowing what's going on. And he's a doctor, so he could tell me, but I'm guessing he has this thing about where he's protecting me. So like when I was pregnant, that's when he first found out he had cancer, and he didn't want to she didn't want anybody to tell me, but of course I found out, which just made it worse because I didn't know if it was like stage 1 cancer or he was going to die like next week, which I've been through. I've already been through a number of scares where, like, there was one time I saw him and he looked like he weighed like 100 pounds. He was just skin and bones, and I thought I was never going to see him again. But he lived. He just like seems to have 9 lives, and he just keeps bouncing back. But I'm kind of constantly on alert that like one day I'm going to get a call and he's not going to be there anymore. And it's just really has me down. And so it's hard to get the enthusiasm up to go talk on stage and serve when I'm in a bad place in the first place. And then tomorrow I'm going on my 2-week RV training, and I'm going to be living in tents. So I don't even know if there's going to be Wi-Fi. I don't even know if I'm going to have access to Clubhouse for the next 2 weeks. So I'm just feeling very frustrated because I wanted to do well on this challenge, but it's just like I just feel like I don't know how I don't know how I'm going to stay consistent, not let life distract me, and keep going for the goal. So I don't know.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Okay. God has you.
Mhm.
It's going to be okay. Some things we need to put aside to do what's best for us. This stuff isn't all important. Okay. This too shall pass is what I got to say. It's just so hard. And I know because I'm going through the same thing with my mom. I mean, my mom's got Alzheimer's. She's not eating. She's down to less than 100 pounds. She's, just totally confused all the time. And it's hard because she was the rock of the family, so I know how hard it is, but we do what we can, and don't sweat it, and don't do things. If it's overwhelming for you, then stop. It doesn't, don't make it hard on yourself. Don't do that. Just be who you are and know that, God has you in his hands and it's going to be okay.
And I was going to say too, with what you were saying, if you can't do it for this month, take in the information, start next month, make a goal for 2 months from now, because the information is still going to be good until whenever you're ready. So don't put the pressure on yourself to say, I got to do it today. If you can't, you can't, but you can take in the information, you can make your goals and then work toward those.
I don't know. It just feels like that there's always going to be something. Like there's no, hold on, I'm getting another call. Like there's never a time when like life is just, oh, there's no problems. It's always something. It's just like,
I know.
Yeah.
God must trust you a lot. I think God has a freaking wicked sense of humor, and he puts us through these trials to make us stronger. I mean, this is going to be a story that you're going to be able to tell up on stage in 2 or 3 years. So
and think about what you're talking. Yeah, sorry for interrupting.
But it's okay. Go ahead.
What your group is about. You're trying to get people to be happy and to get through their situation. You're the example that you can use to get your group going. This is what you're trying to get your women to see, that they can be happy and they can have a life no matter what ups and downs they're going through. This is the testimony of how that happens when you do what you're doing now, because that may be why you're experiencing this to a degree, so that you can feel it, because you want to be really sincere when you talk to these women, because you really know what they're going through and the problems that they're having, and you want to solve them. So you can think about it that way, and it may shift you to, see what you really can do for yourself, and think about what your goal is for the future. That's because as soon as you start saying that, that's exactly what I went into what you said last night.
One of the things Wayne Dyer always talks about is, whatever's going on the outside, you can control the way that you react to it. You control what's on the inside. So, I know when my father had his heart attack, I was just a mess. And then I had to just stop myself and say, all right, you know what? You got to pull yourself together. You got to be strong for everybody else. You got to get your mother through this. You got to make sure, that you're talking to the doctors, you're doing all this stuff. And, it took me, I cried for 20 minutes and then boom, I was like, all right, I got this, so you got to talk yourself into it. You got to coach yourself. So you can do it.
Yes.
You're good at that.
Thank you.
And this is your support. We're here to support you as well. So you're not doing this alone. Think about last night when, her name just went out of my mind.
Elizabeth.
She just said what she did, and it broke me down because I hadn't shared that with anybody about what my child was going through and the struggles we had. And when she said that, I knew I was in the right place, because my mom don't even know yet, because I don't know how to have that conversation with my family and everything. So it's been a real struggle, but because I had the support, I was here, we were talking, and she happened to stay on, because she said, usually I don't stay on, So look at us as your support too. We want to see you, get through what your goals are. I was excited last night. That's why I was DMing you, trying to see, what you need. I think that what you have is awesome. And if you can work through it, just do what you can. It may not be as great as you want it to be the first time, but if you do it in the midst of what you're going through, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Yep. We lose her. Or I lose everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah. There you go.
It can it gets hard sometimes alone, because my mom died and my dad is in Africa and I don't have any other family around, and I'm in a new state that I moved to in the middle of a pandemic, so I don't know anybody here. But when you said that I'm not alone and that I have your support, it just really touched me, and I appreciate you all, and thank you, Linda, for starting this group, and thank you all for all of your input and support, because I certainly need it.
Yes, we all do, believe me. Like, it's some days I'm like, I was just there yesterday. I was in the bed. I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to be able to do this. And my friend said, get up, get out of that bed, And then I got on here with you all. And then when Elizabeth started speaking, it was like, if I would have missed this, I would have missed that. That was what I needed to hear last night. So, sorry.
Yeah, we're all here for you. We're here for you and with you. And that's the thing, that's the support that we have. And it's interesting for me because I feel like, Cecilia, did you want to share anything?
Oh, well, everybody said what I was thinking. We're here to support you, Tandy. And my dad died from dementia, January.
Mm.
So yeah, he had it for 8 years. So we knew it was coming, but anyway, yeah, we're in a stage, I think a lot of us are in a stage where our parents are elderly and going through health issues. And so, that's another milestone. I look at it's like it's just another milestone in our life that we are caretakers for our parents, and if we realize that we have friends to help us and we talk about it, that's the key thing, is talking about it. So you were brave, Tandy, for talking about it. I give you credit for that. Wow, that took courage to bring that up and tell us about your emotions, the difficulties that you're going through. That was quite brave of you. And so I thank you for bringing that up.
Thanks, Cecilia. I'm so sorry about your dad.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So
Tommy, reach out to me if you want to stop and get a coffee. I'm only not that far from you now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in Delaware.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still here.
No, I'm about to be in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
well, I wanted to say something that's kind of interesting because as you were speaking, Tandi, I can hear everything you're saying and I can feel it and everything. And what I find that's been interesting for me, and because I've hosted masterminds for about 5 years now, and we bring all these women together. And when we have a situation that's more like along the lines of what you were just sharing with us, Tandi, I myself, I'm like, I hope somebody else speaks because I don't know how to talk about this stuff. And then I had Sally and Lisa speak up, and then Cecilia. And this is what's awesome, is because I, like on the business side, I can keep going forever, right? But on the other stuff, I don't excel there. I don't really know what to say. So I just kind of sit in silence and hope somebody else does. But I think that's the beauty of this, is because, where I'm weak, there's others who are there to support us in our weaknesses. And that's what we're talking about here, right? That's what the support is that we're here wherever you need us. One of us, all of us are going to be able to support in one way, shape, or form. And it's in our own brilliance that we can support you in the way we can. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Lisa's right, show up here, don't show up here, do what you need to do for you. Do exactly what you need to do for you. The trainings will still be available. If you want to show up each night just to have that support, if like you're hearing stuff going on that's not inside of your head, like you can get outside of your head and get somewhere else. If you need that, show up here for that, if that's what it is right now. But and she said the information will still be available. Clubhouse isn't going anywhere. I don't think it's going anywhere for a long, long time. So it'll still be there for you and available. And also, like Lisa said, what you're working through right now is part of your story, or at least, Sally said, a couple of years, right? This will be part of your story of this is how I got through this situation. Because, even though it's moms with divorce, divorced moms that you're working with now, that can change. But then also some of them are going to go through these same exact situations. Maybe there was a death in the patriarchy that caused a rift in the marriage, right? And so you're going to be able to have these experiences that doesn't make it any easier to go through right now, of course. But one thing I find myself doing now is, as I'm going through the valleys of whatever is going on in my life, I ask myself during those valleys, what's the lesson I'm supposed to be learning right now? Like, I don't want to wait till later to learn the lesson. I want to learn the lesson now. And what I've found for me is by doing that, because I believe that there's lessons for us all over the place. And so for me, what happens is, as I'm going through it, I ask myself, what's the lesson? I'm more focused on the lesson than that I am on what's going on. Is that denial? I don't know. It doesn't matter because it works for me. So that's something that helps me get through situations while they're happening. And
there's always blessings in the challenges. There's always blessings in the challenges. You got
just asking what they are, right? Like what is the blessing?
Yep. I mean, it might be somebody that steps up and takes you through it that you would never have met before, and that talks you through it and gets you through it. It might be an event that you go to that changes your thinking. It might be someone, a random stranger, buying you a coffee and making you, think about different things. So there's always something that's going to happen when you're going through these challenges, that you're just look for the blessings.
Is it possible to get on Zoom calls with your dad, or do you do that?
We do WhatsApp, but he hasn't been. He's funny about answering his phone, so I don't. He had surgery today. Thankfully, I have a better relationship with my stepmom, so she keeps me updated as much as she can. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're here for you, and like I said, we're for you and with you. Yeah.
Good. Thank you. And I like the idea of looking for the lesson.
Yeah. It helps us focus differently. And I don't think it makes us bereave less. I think it just makes us bereave differently.
Yes.
Yeah.
And journal it. Like, because what Sally was saying, you're gonna look back on this time and see how you went through it. Put it down, write it down, because it can be very powerful in your life a little bit later.
Do you journal?
For me?
No, Tom.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Do you journal? Maybe you should go get a notebook and just start writing these things down.
Yeah.
I do.
Just write your feelings down. Just whatever comes to your head. Just sit down with a pen and a piece of paper. I like to do it with a pen. For some reason, the computers, especially when I'm feeling like you are, and when I'm emotional, I need a pen and a piece of paper and just let it come out. I mean, it doesn't even have to be legible. You don't even have to read it. You can write it all out and then rip it up and throw it away, but at least get it out there.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, you're kind of releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
But
just
find a piece of paper and a pen and just sit down and just everything that you talked about, everything you're feeling, just write it out on a piece of paper. You can save it and look at it later and say, you know what, that's not, later on you might look at that and say, you know what, that's not what I'm feeling right now, or that's okay, I'm done with that, now let's go on to something else. But it gives you a starting point, and it helps you to grow, and it helps you to realize what you're going through. But like I said, even if you don't want anybody else to see it or ever read it, take it and burn it, rip it up in 1,000 pieces, and just that sometimes is just releases it.
That's good. Thank you, Sally.
Well, Sally teaches people how to journal. That's one of her many hats. Journaling through art.
Yeah. Oh, I love your art too. I was looking at your Instagram, and my daughter was like, "Oh, Mama, can she teach me that?" I said, "I'll talk to her." I don't know.
Reach out. Yeah, I do art class. I'm teaching an art class in a couple of weeks. I go to the senior center here and teach, and they've been asking me at this church, so I might do a class there too.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, but I can do a Zoom class. I'll give you a list of materials to buy, and we can just hang out on Zoom and paint.
That'd be great. I don't know how my painting will come out, but she's an artist. I'm not. I'm not.
It's the joy of the painting. It's the journey.
I'm a really good teacher, so it'll come out absolutely wonderful.
Oh,
do you do that as part of your self-care sessions?
I should do one as part of one of my.
Yeah, like a sipping.
So we'll paint a rock. We'll paint a rocker or something.
Paint a rock.
Sipping paint or sipping art, or
yeah.
I was doing like paint and sips, then you drink a little bit too much.
I was gonna say, your painting might not come out. Yeah. What? It was beautiful last night while I was painting it.
I did one, and I was doing an owl, right? And I said, you know what? I'm going to change all the browns. I was drinking wine, and it said, I'm going to change all the browns to purple, and I'll make a purple owl. and it looked amazing. And the next morning I looked at it, I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, I think I drank too much last night, but I have this beautiful purple owl if anyone's interested.
Okay.
That's like they say, like if you go, like men, right? They go to a bar and they drink a lot and then they pick up on a woman. The next morning, they're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I think she was like a model. There's like a Playboy bunny last night.
Isn't that what's Coyote Ugly? Isn't that that's my that's our favorite movie. Every New Year's Eve, me and my daughter sit and watch Coyote Ugly.
Oh my gosh. I think I've seen it once.
I love to watch that. I don't know what it is about that movie. I think it's the best
I
movie.
love that movie.
I love Napoleon Dynamite. Okay, that tells you a little bit about me.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, I think we're done for the night. I see Tandy smiling. That's good. We want to end the call with that. That beautiful smile.
And go watch Coyote Ugly tonight.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a rim right now on carrying on when you feel like giving up.
Ooh,
I'm coming in.
All right.
that's a good one.
It's 10 o'clock here. I gotta get to bed. I've been up
11
since
o'clock
5.
here. I gotta go.
Okay.
I mean, this is me every night. So
Awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow night.
I need to talk to you too. Now that you've started my agency, I gotta start it.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's like,
But we'll talk. We'll talk.
I don't even know what to do. So okay. Bye-bye.